and I don't have him on a lot of my social media with me, but you don't have me on a lot of your social media either.
You're on my stuff all the time.
Our brands are like a little bit, oh really?
All the time.
Whatever.
You are constantly, listen, she ups my stock price. Good. Nice. I was like, I know.
Hey guys, it's Danielle here from DKW Styling. Welcome to my home here in Orange County, California. I have a guest today. Yep, this guy. This guy's my guest. And I have so many people who ask me, like, who's your husband? What does he do? How did you guys meet? Like, who's this mystery man? So we worked together a little bit, and so he's been popping up more and more on my social media and stuff like that. And I just decided to let you guys in my house and share kind of more about us, how we met, and we're a good time.
What was your perspective? You want me to tell my version first?
There's two stories.
Of course, there's your story.
All right, I'll tell you my story. I'm going to tell you my story. I moved away at 18 to go to college, and literally one of the first events that I went to, I was with all my roommates, and I was 18 at the time, and it was probably an event that had 1,000 people or more in it. I mean, it was a huge event. And the whole time, this guy's sitting in front of me, and he has this really awful bleach blonde spiky hair. And
I'm like, sitting in front of you?
Yes, because of your hair.
Right.
No, he had Eminem hair, but it was spiked and bleached. And I was like, what's going on with his hair? I couldn't even focus. So then we're leaving the event, we're walking out, and I'm like, oh my God, that guy with the bleached hair is so loud. Does he have to talk that loud? And then all of a sudden he's talking to us, me and my girlfriends, and he's like, hey, so many hot girls or something all in one group. And I was like, oh my God, he spoke to us. The guy with the blonde hair, he spoke to us. So that was my first impression. But then one of my roommates started talking to him, and she's like, oh, come over, we're at so-and-so apartments. And him and his friends lived in the same apartments too. And he's like, cool, we're gonna come by and say hi. So long story short, my roommates were always gone. I was always just hanging out by myself, doing the whole college thing. He came over one night with his cousin, and I saw a more chill side to him, and I was like, oh, he's cool, he's kind of cute. And then he was nobody else was home, so pretty much I was the only one to ask out. And he's like, hey, do you want to go out sometime? And I'm like, sure. And so that's kind of how we met. And what's your version?
I didn't even know that you were checking me out the entire event.
I couldn't help it. There was just spikes of bleach.
I think there was something beyond that. I think it slightly turned you on. This bleached out hair. What the part she didn't tell you was, at the time I thought my skin was too white. What I mean by that was I was not tan. So I had gotten this passionate idea that my successful track to creating prosperity and finding the woman of my dreams came down to being tan. So what do you do when you want to be tan? Well, back then we didn't have the spray tan car wash thing that girls get to do today. So I went to the tanning beds. The only problem is my body doesn't tan. I have become a deep fan of sunscreen. I have about 42 bottles everywhere all the time. I don't give a shit. I will pass it on my body.
You're
I
Irish.
hate being burned. I'm Irish. I got red hair. I do not tan ever, but I was committed to trying to prove that theory wrong. My face was bright red, and we would bleach my hair out white because we thought that was cool. I don't know why. I also at the time thought that really cool jeans were Jinkos. They were really big jeans that kind of flatted out on the bottom. And I also thought the dress shoes were lugs. L-U-G-Z, not even as
I think you thought you were kind of gangster or something.
I don't know what I thought I was. I had played college football. I had come out of a divorce. I was 25. I had a son, and I was trying to find myself. So when I found her at this event, I was like, holy shit. The crazy part was I didn't see her at first. I saw her roommate, Shelly, because Shelly was taller and Danielle was kind of hiding in the background.
I don't like to be
And they walked by, and I yelled out, hey! It's not too often that you see so many beautiful ladies all together at one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely top
My
five.
point exactly.
Fucking stalker approach.
I was like, good Lord, shut up.
So the rest of the story was true. We got there, and my cousin had already called dibs on Danielle, and I'd called dibs on Danielle's roommate, Shelly. Shelly was not home, and Danielle was there. And Destiny provided. And
so I'm second dibs.
No, you were first. I just didn't know you were hiding. And then Aaron
I feel like you married up. I just want to say, but even though I'm
married
second,
up in the beginning.
even
now
though I'm
married
second
equal.
dibs.
Now I'm married equal.
All right, I'll give you that.
I married up in the beginning though, for sure. I mean, the lugs, the Jinkos, the bleached hair, the red face. I mean, it's amazing that happened. So anyways, we got together. And we got married, and life took off, and it was great. And we became entrepreneurs. And by we, I mean Danielle became an entrepreneur because she was married to me. I was a PE teacher and a football coach. And about the time I met Danielle, I got a book in my hands called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. A friend gave that to me, and my world changed. And I started down this path of businesses. And like a lot of guys at that time, I got into mortgages. And I started my workaholism.
Workaholism. I think you've always been a workaholism. Like ever since I met you, like you've always been very driven and very busy, but that was one of the things that I liked about you. Like I just thought, I remember when we were dating thinking like, it doesn't, because my parents all thought I was crazy. I was 18, just moved to college. I meet this guy, I bring him home. He's 25, so he's 7 years older than me. He's divorced, he has a kid. And literally my parents think I'm like crazy, but like I think I like see something in him like that nobody else really sees. And one of the things was like your work ethic, you know what I mean? And I was like, this guy, doesn't matter what he's gonna do. Like at the time he was going to college to become a PE coach, and I was like, even if he does that, he's gonna get to like college level, he's gonna be like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like this guy is gonna like make it happen. So I think that was a quality that I really admired about you, despite like the crazy hair and everything else. So
the hair made it tough.
I felt like we got married, had kids young, like, and then all of a sudden it was like things were not bad, but then it was like they kept getting worse and worse and worse. And it was like, for me and my experience, like I didn't realize we had like hit the floor. And so it was like stuff just kept getting thrown at us. Like you don't see that you're like hitting the floor. And it was like bam, bam, bam. And at some point I was like, wow. And even though I admired your work ethic and I knew that you were always like just pushing as hard as you could, I thought, you know what? Maybe it's not just supposed to be him, and maybe I need to play a part in this. And that's what pushed me to kind of be like, literally it was like a voice came to me and it was like, it's not him, it's you. And I was like, all right, then I need to own where I'm at, and I need to take accountability for where I'm at and what I'm doing for our family. And I think that's why we've gotten to where we are right now so quickly, because it's like we both just chose in on ourselves, which made us kind of like disconnect for a little bit and then reconnect. So I don't know, it's been like a crazy journey, but that's kind of how we've gotten here. And I don't know, I'm excited kind of for the next chapter, because I kind of feel like although we had like rough patches with our relationship, I feel like we're in a pretty solid space now.
There are people all need you to fight for them. This is not about a fight right now. This is about you accessing the power that you need to go fight back home.
People always ask me like at the salon, like, what does your husband do? Give them like a brief synopsis. What is Wake Up Warrior?
So during the struggles that I was having, I was really questioning a lot about who I was as a man, and I was questioning even what my role was as a man. It was a really confusing place for me to be. I looked and searched for a lot of answers during 2008 to 2011. Danielle was just saying, fucking figure it out. She was like, just be the man, which is really the cry and the scream that's coming from millions of women around the planet right now to the men that they're with, being just like, be the fucking man, what's wrong with you? Why don't you just level up, fix our problems, handle your shit? And so out of that, I created a system called The Warrior's Way to having it all, and I started playing by myself in my journal, and things started turning around. And then in 2012, I started introducing it to other guys, and it started working for them. And in 2013, we introduced it to a few other guys, and it worked for them. And in 2014, I recognized that the results that guys were getting, that there was really something to this. And I was a business consultant at the time, and we were marketing consultants, and I was very good at marketing, very good at sales, very good at speaking. I'd spoke on stages around the country, around North America, in front of 5,000 to 8,000 people over and over through Get Motivated seminars and different events back in the past with my banking firms. And so I started taking those skills. That's when I started broadcasting the Warrior message. In 2014, we got some traction. In 2015, we really got some traction. In 2016, we began to really hit tipping point. And in 2017, we went vertical. And this year, we have 3 events with over 500 guys in person. We have thousands of clients from around the globe. We have hundreds of thousands of subscribers to my podcast at warrioronfire.com. We have my book, Warrior Book, that just came out. It used to be called The Black Book. We've sold 4,000 copies of those in just the first 30 days we deployed that book. And we ultimately have networks filled with over 1,000 guys of clients of ours right now who live this system inside of software and apps and gamified, all to create one outcome, which is helping a man in a modern game reclaim power inside himself and then figure out how to turn that power into productive means across all areas of his life. with his body, with his being and spirituality, with his balance, his marriage, his relationship with his kids, and with his business. We train men how to be men. That is what we do. Like, it is inarguable our science. I have an event happening right now called Warrior Week 42, 42 different week-long crucible events. We have hundreds of case studies. We have hundreds of couples whose lives have been completely turned around by playing this game that we teach men how to play every day. And then we network men because most men feel horribly alone.
I own a salon in Laguna Beach, California, and then I created a hair extension method called Natural Beaded Rows, and we educate all over. I've been educating for the last 5 years on this technique. It's an amazing technique. I have had stylists that have had amazing results, and I know how well it works and how much it's changed the game for myself, that I love educating, and I love seeing other stylists kind of reach the level of success that I have, just even with their own clientele, and just kind of like owning the niche of hair extensions and things like that. And so I found a lot of purpose, I guess, in teaching and seeing the success that other people were having. But I was also trying to balance the circus of my own life, and be a mom and be a wife and do kind of just balance everything. And so I just was like, you know, when you build your business, you kind of like want to have control of your little baby, and it's you kind of have to let go in order for it to grow. And I was wanting to hire people out and do all this stuff, and I'm like, why don't I just get Garrett to come on board with me? Like, he could do it better than anybody I know. But it was kind of like a surrender for both of us, because I had to be like, he'd come help me educate and pump all the girls up, and then be like, peace, I gotta go do my warrior thing. And I was like, oh my God, like you gotta stay with me. So I literally, it was like maybe 6 months ago, I was like, guess what? I can't have you one foot in like in the door and out the door. Like, you gotta be all in, like it's all or nothing. So I said, guess what? The education, we call it Big Money Stylist. I said, the education portion of it is yours. It is yours. You take full responsibility, you take ownership. If you decide to not show up at one of your classes, it's your business. And so when I had kind of surrendered and like gave him that ownership, he's like, okay. And then we were able to kind of work together, and like, why are you smiling?
Because you're hot as shit.
Okay, guys, that's our interview. This is my husband. If you want to see more of his stuff, just go over to wakeupwarrior.com. You can see more about what he does. If you want to know more about my hair extensions, you can obviously click the link in this video and learn more about Natural Beaded Rows. You might see, if you're a stylist, you might see us together if you come to any of the education, now that he's the boss of the education.
Yep,
and I am the artist.
Coming up in December in Huntington Beach, California. We have about 40 tickets left. If you're a hairstylist and you want to check more of that out, you can check out a movie we've created together with our teams and our stylists and our salons over at bigmoneystylist.com.
I'll put all the links in here. All right, bye guys. We'll see you. Oh, next week I'm doing, I do videos usually every Tuesday. I call them Tuesday's Tip, but I just wanted to give you guys a little insight to my house, my husband, how we met, a little bit of our story, so that you're not like, who is this girl? What does she do? Where did she come from? She's popped up out of nowhere. It's been a crazy journey. We've worked really hard to get to where we are, but it's been a fun ride. So we're excited to keep pushing forward, and we'll see you guys every week. Well, he won't see every week. I'll see you every week. I'm just gonna end this video. Bye. We'll see you whenever. See ya. So you've seen a little bit of the process. Now come experience the process. All you need to do is click the link below. That's gonna take you directly to my blog, where you can go to my contact page and reach out to me. Whether you're a curious student or you're just another girl that loves hair, either way, don't be shy. Make sure to click on the link below.